Many people read this story but they never really understand it. And I used to be one of them. I used to wonder, why did the Israelites stay in the wilderness so long? Why didn't they just enter the promised land? Why would God bring them out of Egypt just to let them wander? But then I read the story properly. Numbered chapters 13 and 14. Moses sends 12 spies into the land. 12 people. Same mission. Same land. Same promise from God. But they come back with 2 completely different reports. 10 of them say, "We can't do this. The people are giants. We will fail. We will die there." And then Joshua and Caleb say something different. "We are able. God has already given us the land." Same situation, 2 perspectives. But here's what changed everything. The people believed the fear more than the promise. And that moment shaped 40 years. Because the wilderness was never meant to be permanent. It was meant to be a place of testing. A place where trust is revealed. And I started realizing something. Sometimes life feels like that wilderness. Not because God forgot you. Not because the promise is gone. But because what you believe in the waiting matters. The Israelites had food. They had manna. They had provision every single day. But they still complained. They even said, "We were better off in Egypt." And that's the scary part. Because sometimes pressure makes people forget deliverance. But God still remained faithful. Even in their frustration. Even in their doubt. And here's what I learned from it. Sometimes the delay is not destruction. Sometimes it's preparation. Because not everyone who leaves Egypt is ready for the promised land. And then there's this final lesson that hit me hard. Be careful what you complain about. Because sometimes God gives you exactly what you keep asking for. They wanted meat. They got meat. They wanted Egypt. They almost got Egypt back. So maybe the real question is not, why did they stay in the wilderness? Maybe the question is, would I have done any better? And that's the part that stays with me. Because the wilderness is not just a place in history. Sometimes it's a season of life. Anyway, I'm talking too much, I think. This is part of the video where I say,
every single day, still God making another way. Numbers, counting